All right, well, we have a lot of weather to talk about. The possibility of flooding through the course of the weekend, thanks to actually two tropical systems. The latest on Priscilla, now a post-tropical cyclone out in the Pacific. We're not going to be feeling any tropical storm force winds or anything like that. We're just getting some of the moisture from that. And then a secondary system, Tropical Storm Raymond, further to the south. That'll be pushing up the Baja by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday. And this is going to allow for another influx of moisture later in the weekend on Sunday. And that's why we have some pretty hefty rain totals for the second half of the weekend for southeastern Arizona. Now, the highest risk for flooding tomorrow, areas in yellow. That's a moderate risk for excessive rainfall. This is where we could see some flooding tomorrow. And then as we get into the day on Sunday, because of Raymond, that's why we're looking at a moderate risk down toward Tucson, Safford, parts of Cochise County as well. As far as our rain forecast here in the valley, this is looking pretty good through the middle of Sunday. About an inch or two will be possible. Across the lower deserts, there could be a couple spots that could see around 3 inches. That'll be very localized, but most are going to fall in this range that you saw here. But you can see this is our 3-day forecast taking us through the weekend. Models have been very consistent from Flagstaff down I-17 out through much of Gila County, Payson area, and then of course southeastern Arizona. Several inches of rain there, 3, possibly 4 inches of rain. That's from Raymond on Sunday. So these are the areas that look to be getting the most rainfall as we go through the weekend. Here's an hour by hour over the next 48 hours. Over the next couple hours, it's possible we see an isolated shower here in the valley, but our chances are going to begin to go up later on tonight, 9, 10 p.m. In fact, this is 1 a.m., very active across the valley, I-17 up through Flagstaff and parts of the Navajo Nation. 6 a.m. tomorrow, it is still raining in Phoenix and the lower deserts, also far eastern Arizona. Then as we get closer to 10 a.m., we're actually going to get a little bit of a lull at that point. We'll have a few hours of some dry time, maybe even a couple peaks of sunshine. And then by 5 p.m. tomorrow, more showers and storms developing. This will be impacting the lower deserts and also far southeastern Arizona. So out towards Safford, Tucson, the weather is going to become more active later in the day on Saturday on into Sunday morning. This is a look at 5 a.m. on Sunday. You can actually see Phoenix still looking at some showers, but it's heavier down toward Tucson and Safford, and it will continue in those areas through the rest of the day. As far as our current radar, most of the showers are in northern and western Arizona. We see a little bit of activity right here. This could bring the valley an isolated shower or two over the next couple of hours, but it looks like the majority of it is going to hold off till about 9, 10, 11 o'clock tonight. So, and then we're going to be solidly looking at rainfall overnight till about 7 or 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Flagstaff 7-day, 100% chance for rain tomorrow, down to 50% Sunday, and then highs are in the 50s and 60s all week. Definitely below average. Here in the valley, weather impact alert days through Sunday and then starting to dry out early next week. And those highs, they're staying in the 80s through the end of next week. We'll be right back after this.